It always starts off the same way: wants versus reality. And what we want life to look or feel like doesn't always align with what our numbers actually support. And that gap right there is where a lot of people lose control. We've talked about that idea of guns and butter before. Butter representing comfort in life, tastes good, feels good, then it disappears into thin air, leaves you with health problems. Then there are guns. Those represent protection, they last longer, stabilize, they give us more options in the future. And then, I mean, you only need so many guns. Like, all right, you got a problem over there. But then every single purchase falls into one of two categories: gun or butter. And the part that a lot of people miss out on, like, a lot of people have the right intentions, but simply just having a goal of wanting to save money doesn't do itself justice. You have to become the type of person whose decisions support that. And that starts with shifting your psychology. How you think. How do people think? They think and make decisions on emotion, emotional decision making. Then they justify it later on. But beliefs drive behavior long before the math shows up. And it's not just your beliefs, it's the people around you that also shape what feels normal, how they spend, how they talk, what they celebrate. They all say birds of a feather flock together. We've heard that a million times, but what you feed grows. And if you feed impulse, impulse grows. If you feed discipline, discipline grows. And when you want to know what you're building towards and you think about that and you begin making it more clear to yourself what you want, like you know yourself a little bit better, decisions get easier. They don't get easy, but they get easier. And something surprisingly powerful then happens when you talk about that goal out loud. This is a little hack of mine. Think about it. When you tell somebody what you're doing, like you talk about your goals and you're open about it, two things happen. First, like now, every time you see that person, you're going to feel this internal pressure to live up to your word, especially around that specific person. So, dang, I was kind of feeling that, but now I can't do it. You want to become serious, like, or even be viewed as serious. You want to live up to your word. And then the second thing, they start to associate you with that identity you're forming. Yeah, they're focused on saving money. They're disciplined with money. They probably don't want to go do that with me. You didn't even have to say no. The environment adjusted for you. So that's kind of how identity works. You slowly become that person over time. You just got to stick to it and show up. So another thing that I found to help is really just reducing the temptation. This is really simple, but a lot of people still put themselves in that environment. And we just found out that the easiest no is the one that you never have to say. So another way you could practice at doing that is to try not to put yourself into these environments where you're being tested and honestly you're setting yourself up for failure. Like going to walk around the mall is an example. Like, yeah, I'm getting my steps in. I'm hanging out. I'm getting out of the house, but like you're going to go look at all of the stuff you want to buy. Like just think about it. Also, I almost never think in one-time costs or one-time purchases when I spend. That's another thing that I kind of think about because like you never just make the purchase one single time. So then it's like a cost per month usually is how I end up thinking about it. And then it's quietly like becoming this subscription in your life and go mention somebody to go recommend one of your friends to sign up to something that costs like man, they're gonna like throw up in their mouth at a subscription cost. So think about your daily spending habits in that, and then it's like different. Like, oh man, is this really worth however much I spend on this a month? And then if like it really truly is this one time purchase, you can go back to the spreadsheet and kind of think about it. All right, well, I got all my numbers filled in, and I have so many months. Let's say this is 3 months saved up, how does that impact the spreadsheet in terms of how many months of savings it cost me? Then suddenly that decision looks a lot larger than just treating yourself. It reinforces those priorities, and then those are forced to the surface, honestly. And then you have to look at them and deal with them and that decision that you make. So we've talked about this real life hack before of hanging out with your spreadsheet. I just got to bring that back up because then you're just sitting there and looking at these numbers and you become familiar with your finances. We built this together. You could go watch the other video. But then you know what's going on. When you spend time with your spreadsheet, it's really interesting how it happens, but then you start seeing these patterns. You begin to know yourself a little bit more. You run math in your head, you begin to think creatively with the numbers. How fast can I kill this MacBook cost and get rid of this monthly payment and this debt? Now it's no longer there. Well, what if I canceled this one? By the way, what I ended up just doing with this one is I paid the annual subscription, so ended up saving like $50 a month on that one. So now it's 140. But that's something that you can do and you realize. Or is this purchase actually worth delaying all my progress towards this goal that I've really been working on because I want to become that type of person? So, I mean, that's just an easy hack. And then sometimes you might even justify making a purchase looking at the spreadsheet just because the numbers support it. So awareness changes behavior. Then another idea, I think in your main spending account, you should strategically go to zero every single paycheck. When the money comes in, it should immediately go somewhere on purpose. I think some of my faves, I mentioned it, get rid of debt and bills when you can. So these are my real numbers. I owe 1,500 on a MacBook, $65 a month, pretty much interest free. The numbers supported it, so I'm not really mad about it. But now I want to get rid of this monthly cost and this 1,500 on here. Like that's an idea of something that I can do. So pay down debt, get rid of bills. You could, like I said, pay an annual subscription on something up front. Then you're getting the lowest cost per month. Savings buffers. You could build up your savings accounts. You could set up transfers into other types of accounts like investment accounts. But doing this by putting your money and bringing your spending account down to zero, the easiest place for you to spend money, like when you see money there you want to spend it purposely, and now you're essentially hiding your money from yourself in these places where you're less likely to pull it out. And the psychology here, man, it's massive. And ladies, it's massive. Once the money leaves your checking account and let's say it goes into your 401k, then imagine like having to transfer it back. Now you're getting penalized for you got to wait the couple days for it to actually post to the account. Then you got to come to your spreadsheet and adjust the numbers down. And then you got to look at how much months of money you have saved up for expenses. That number is going to go down. And then you're like, man, is it even worth making that purchase in the first place? No, I'll just wait till I get paid. And then, by time the money's available, you don't even want it anymore. So, ultimate hack, 10 out of 10. So, that's some of the thinking that I have. It's mainly about designing this system that sets you up towards being the person you want to become. Make it as easy as possible or easier. And then, with every step, every action, every small vote for that direction you're headed, it adds up. And then over time, it begins to compound. You got so many votes, so many small actions leading up to that one thing that we've talked about. So, saving money, it gets easier when it stops being something that you try to do and starts being something that you just are. You are the type of person that just makes that type of decision. Just make it, it's a lot more simpler when you just live that way. And then, I mean, make it as easy as possible. Design the environment to set you up to win and succeed at that, not fail. Feed the right habits. And then the system will do all the heavy lifting.